Whew. Goodness gracious. So I want to start this out by apologizing to Makeup Mobster. I know that she's live, but I kind of need to get this out. Um, I don't really know where to start just yet, but I'm going to stick up for Makeup Mobster here. This is going to be about how I feel. This is going to be about Loora not knowing what the fuck she's talking about. And this is going to be about me just recently being put back in check by someone in a comment section that obviously cares. That said person helped me realize that the way I've been going about things is completely wrong. It's not me. It's not who and or what I'm about. Oh, we got a guest. What's up?
Hey.
Hey, it's been a while since me and you've been on here. Hey, Clancy. Hey, Narnie. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. We're going to discuss this. I kind of got off topic. I was talking about a comment that somebody had left me this morning that I let you read. And I was so unbelievably emotional by that because the things that person was saying like had me in tears because they obviously have paid attention to my patterns and they've paid attention to who I am and they've seen a difference in me. And I guess it took someone else telling me how they feel about me to really put it into perspective on, well, maybe I need to, reanalyze things, which I've been doing for the past week. I'm sure there's a lot of people that know what's happened to me in the past week. And then there's a few that probably don't. Go ask. I'm sure somebody will tell you. It's whatever. But, this whole past week, I've really had to sit and think, and I've had to reanalyze, and I've had to come up with a different solution on how to live, because if I don't, I'm not going to make it. Point, period, blank, the end. I'm not going to make it. So I want to talk about, I'm going to stick up for Makeup Mobster, but I'm going to play a clip first. I'm going to play a clip on something that Loora said that just drove me right through the roof.
And how can I prove that you're not that smart? Okay, let me tell you how. She says this morning, and I was blown away. She, love you too, Rad Story. She said this morning that she takes no responsibility for Ben, and Ben's issues have nothing to do with drinking. Your ignorance, Makeup Mobster, is some of the dumbest I've ever seen come out of this community. I don't care if there's mental illness or not. Drinking has a huge, huge part.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Loora, you contradicted yourself by calling Makeup Mobster an idiot, saying that she's stupid. Do you realize, Loora, that addiction, alcoholism, is a chronic brain disease? Do you understand that? Brandon, would you like to elaborate? Hey, Sand Dancer. Hey, Anna Mary. Hey, 50 Shades. Hey, Clancy.
Well, I mean, we've known a long time in this country and around the world that the issues and the problems related to alcoholism center in the mind. We've known this a long time.
Right.
The American Medical Association didn't get on board with that until the 70s, and then again, around the time that Obamacare hit, they again redefined it and saying that because it was a mental illness between the 70s and Obama, but there was also a behavioral component.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a long rabbit hole we don't have time to go down. But
well, that's the neurological part of it, neurobiological part of it.
And also nature versus nurture. So they're saying that it's based on how you're raised. It's based on how much money you have. It's based on all these other factors. Well, if that were the case, people that grew up in $1 million homes wouldn't become alcoholic, people that grew up this or that way or in this religion or in this culture wouldn't become alcoholic. The American
Right.
Medical Association finally dropped the behavioral component and just said, this is a mental illness.
Yes, Miss
Period.
Pink Lady Luck it is. It really bothers me when she, Brandon, what did you say again earlier? You said that once again, Loora tries to tell people how to think and feel when her,
she doesn't know anything about the topic.
No, she has no leg to stand on when it comes to addiction. She was the same person that tried to tell people how to do the 12 steps
while drinking.
Yeah.
Drink in hand.
Yeah. So there you go, Loora. Keep on keeping on with that.
I stopped listening then.
Yeah.
I hope a lot of other people do. Look,
Hey,
I'm not the type to tell other adults what to do. I know that's kind of her thing. She likes trying to tell other adults what to do. I don't, mostly because they're adults. I think everybody has to have their own experience and whatever, with someone to decide if that's, someone they want to listen to or someone they respect or don't respect.
Well, we're going to screen share this real quick. Go ahead. Keep going.
Well, just, my experience with her is she, this is someone who often talks. I heard her the other night. She was comparing other people's lives to the amount of subscribers they have. She was basically saying, well, they're not that cool or they're a nobody because they have this amount of subscribers.
Okay. What I want to bring up is the fact that Loora in her live a few minutes ago said, how about trying to help Ben? But Loora, wait a minute. Didn't you just do a live saying, stop trying to help Ben? You only use Ben when it fits your narrative. You use him like a little puppet. You dangle him on a string when you need him or whenever he's kissing your ass. I don't think you understand the severity of what's going on with Ben. You don't understand the severity that's going on with any of us in this community that have problems with mental health or with addiction. You don't. You think you do. But then you're the same person that sits there and says, well, how about reaching out a hand to him? Even if I don't like someone, I would reach out to them and try to help them. That's a condescending lie, and you know it. You tried to make a relapse candle on me. So don't sit there and try to sound like you were this loving person that wants to help. You are bitter. You make things out of content that suits your narrative. You sent Capone into Makeup Mobster's live today to distract that whole thing because she did not mention you one time. Capone started mentioning you. Thus, that gave you fuel to go live and bitch about Makeup Mobster and drag the shit out of her. You even brought up her children. Oh, but if anybody brings up your kids, oh shit, all hell's broken loose. See, once again, it's Laura's way or no way. If you try to do something, it's wrong. But Loora can do it. Loora can say it. This is the kind of shit that pisses me off.
She's got all these rules for everybody and how they should do things. And she's tried to tell me before that I'm not following certain rules, blah, 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 blah. But they never apply to her. They only apply to the people she's trying to point the finger at, or whatever hot topic she can find within the community to try to use that as a way to boost views. I've heard her literally for 2 hours, every 20 minutes say, I don't listen to any of these people. I don't talk about these people. All the while she's talking about them. And every 20 minutes she's going, well, I don't want to talk about them. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, she did it. She did the same thing this morning, Brandon, with Makeup Mobster. She said, well, I only listened in for a few minutes while I was in the store. And then like 10 minutes later, she sat there and said, I don't even talk about these people. Loora, yes, you do. You pay attention 100%. You even subliminally say it when you don't even know you're saying it. You tell on yourself all the time. You're in denial. It's like delusions of grandeur with you, 100%. And stop trying to use Ben. Okay, this is the other reason that I'm bringing up Ben. I know a lot of people in the community don't want Ben brought up, but guess what? I care about Ben because he's a human being that's struggling. I don't care about some fucking clique that's going to kick me out of a Discord. He's a human life that's suffering, and I understand what he's going through because I've gone through it recently myself. Therefore, I care. I have compassion for people. I can't help it. I'm going to like who I like. And I don't care if my friends don't like who I like. I'm going to continue to do me. I'm not 10. I'm not 15. I'm not in some little clique in high school anymore. I don't care about popularity anymore. I'm going to do me and what I think's best for me from now on. I'm going to go back to the way I used to be. I'm so done with, trying to appease everybody else. I'm going to just do me. I'm going to take this person's advice that wrote me this morning, and it was great advice. I love this person, and maybe this person will come into chat. I don't know, but God love you. They really helped me understand a few things, and they really seem to care, and I'm so grateful for that. Instead of screaming and yelling at me about this person or that person, they took time out of their day, knowing that they're struggling worse than I am, to tell me that I'm a good human, to tell me that I should get back to doing the things that I used to do, because the things that I'm doing today is not me. And it's true. I've been mean. I've been an asshole to people, and I don't want to be an asshole to people. I don't want to continuously fight with people. I just don't want to be that person anymore, man. Like, it's getting old. Makeup Mobster had it right. We've got to get to a point to where we stop cussing at each other to see who can yell at one another better than the last.
Competitive talking.
Yeah. Hey, Carlos, how are you? I know I'm all over the place. It's been a crazy week for me. I wrote a few things down, and, I'm just kind of going with the flow. But, if you're going to sit there and call Makeup Mobster an idiot when you are a bigger idiot, because let me tell you something, Laura, Makeup Mobster had it right. It is a brain disease. A brain disease is addiction. So she had it right. And nobody's trying to coddle Ben. Ben has done some awful shit in this community, but he is still a human being. He's still, are we supposed to just up and hate him? Just because he's, this man literally said that he was going to blow his head off. That caught my attention as, oh my God. Yeah, maybe he does want attention, but he's obviously struggling. He's seeking attention anywhere he can find it. He's doxing people left and right. Something wrong is going on. Obviously, he is off of his meds. I get it. That doesn't mean that we should just all up and hate him. There's something wrong. He's been in this community over 4 years, and he's never done the things that he's doing right now. This isn't the same Ben. I can say that about myself. I've done things in the past few months that aren't right. Guess why? I relapsed. It happens. It doesn't mean that we're bad, awful people.
No, I think you're right. I think that, in Ben's situation, I don't want to speak for him, but it feels like sometimes some attention is better than none.
Well, I'm upset because they're taking his oh God, what is that? His intake and his mugshot and plastering it on thumbnails.
Yeah, of course.
That's wrong.
Of course.
Stop doing that shit. Just because you might not like him, or maybe because he deserves it, doesn't mean that you need to exploit his mugshot in a thumbnail. I'm sorry, it upsets me. Laura, you're an asshole. That's what I wanted to say. That's mainly what I wanted to say. I'm going to play this clip again because you've got it wrong. And then we're going to go into detail about why it's wrong.
That's smart. Okay, let me tell you how. She says this morning, and I was blown away. Love you too, Rad Story. She said this morning that she takes no responsibility for Ben, and Ben's issues have nothing to do with drinking. Your ignorance, makeup mobster, is some of the dumbest I've ever seen come out of this community. I don't care if there's mental illness or not. Drinking has a huge, huge part of what Ben goes through.
God, you're an idiot,
When you
Laura.
mix drinking with a mental illness, it is a toxic combination.
It's one and the same.
It's like mixing heroin and cocaine. It is a toxic combination. And anybody that can sit there and say that, oh, well, the drinking has nothing to do with it. And he's
Makeup
a grown
Monster
man.
did not say that.
Are you stupid? Of course he's a grown man, but you're sitting there saying he has mental illness. So you saying to him, oh, well, drinking, go get drunk. What?
She did not say that.
You say to him, you know what, Ben? Probably not a good idea. You know what, Ben? You don't want to drink. Even if he said he was going to drink, how about you try talking him out of it?
Did you try to do that to people, Laura? No. You wanted to make bank off of their problems. Yeah, you wanted to make bank off of a relapse candle. Once again, Makeup Mobster had it right. Addiction is mental illness. It's one and the same. What were you going to say? Sorry.
No, it's like So I had a sponsor years ago. When people would come to him with a lot of issues, he would tell them to go drink. So it sounds crazy. Oh, to me, it still sounds crazy. But he believed that sometimes people need to drink, have a bunch of consequences, so that they'll find recovery.
Ash274, let me show you where she was. Let's talk about this real quick. One more time. Let's see. Let me see. Let's show it. Let's share it. Right there. Stop trying to help Ben. For 10 minutes. Stop trying to help Ben.
But now that it's a hot topic.
Yeah, now that she can use it as content, she wants to help Ben and be there for Ben. Where was she at when Ben was going through what he was going through? Oh, that's right. She was online saying, don't help him. Don't do this. Don't do that. Making fun of him for getting arrested.
But now we should try to talk to him.
Yeah.
According to her. Yeah. So her morals and values and views on things change based on what everybody else is doing.
Yes.
See, my morals, I try to make sure that my morals, my values, the way I look at the world stays the same no matter what happens. I do my best to do that, to not try to appease or people please other people, because it's fake. It's not realistic. It's not it's not who I am. Just another example of someone that will change the entire way they view something just to get, views and subs and people on their side.
Obviously, Laura doesn't know the difference between mental health, addiction / alcoholism. She said that MM is ignorant. No, Laura, that's you because you don't know the difference. The difference is it's the same thing. It's a brain disorder, a chronic brain disorder. It's something that just doesn't go away. Mental illness doesn't just go away.
It's a disease, an ailment, a headache. If you get a headache and you take, the symptom is your head hurts, so you take Tylenol, aspirin, ibuprofen, the headache goes away. That's not a chronic illness. This does not stop. People who have alcoholism, chemical dependency issues, mental health, will have them up until the day they die.
It's a neurobiological coding for everything we can feel, that we think, that we can do. Some have brain disorders like an addiction. It can be near impossible to ever heal. Some people can go along with their lives and never touch a drink or drug again. Kudos to them. It's not the same for everyone. Okay? It's not. Some people can heal and fully live productive lives. Others can't. That's why it used to be called a dual diagnosis.
Because they used to believe that they were separate from each other.
Yes.
That one was going on and the other one was going on simultaneously. And at the tail end of that, I worked in treatment at the tail end of what they call dual diagnosis. And they were just starting to get the idea that they needed to treat them the exact same way at the exact same time, or there would be no change. If we just focus on the alcoholism and the mental health suffers, if we just suffer on the mental health, then how are we dealing with the alcoholism? Finally, some doctors got together and looked at studies and looked at treatment results and said, wait a minute. These are the same thing. They'd always been the same thing. Just the symptoms are different. A lot of people, myself included, I didn't drink because alcohol was my problem. I drank because life was my problem. I was my problem. If my eyes were open, I was triggered. I was thinking about where I can get a drink, where I can get dope, whatever. And until I did something different, until I, by the grace of a higher power, was introduced to people in recovery that were really strict on me, and I started doing what they told me to do, did my life change and my thinking changed. My mental health changed.
Yeah.
If alcohol was my problem, prison would have saved me. Trust me, there was plenty of alcohol in prison, but I wasn't trying to buy booze from those dudes.
Garbage bag alcohol.
There's not a lot of quality control in a garbage bag inside of a toilet in cell block C.
Been there, done that. No, thank you.
Can't afford it. You're getting oranges and sliced bread mixed up with sugar in a bag. I could have done plenty of drugs in prison. Chose not to. I actually bought drugs with the intent to do them. Didn't even do them. For whatever reason, stay clean.
I have to disagree, though, that drinking doesn't intensify mental health, because it does. My sister and 3 kids had to witness their father take a gun to his head after mixing too much. I'm sorry. No,
I am too. It's okay. I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can. It's what's called a compounding effect. So all we're trying to say is they're not separate. You know what I mean? Do they cause each other? Maybe. But what if they were the same thing? What if my alcoholism was my mental illness? And if I treated the alcoholism, everything took care of itself. If you saw my mental health diagnosis, you'd be like, why aren't we listening to this guy? Very long. Very like, oh my God. Now, after I got sober and I got re-diagnosed a couple years later, a lot of that shit went away. I didn't have those problems. It was the same thing. It was what they call a compounding effect. So I agree with you. I've seen plenty of people who had mental health and used alcohol to try to treat it, or used drugs to try to treat it. There are also people.
We had a friend that did that. We had a friend that was schizophrenic, and the only thing that made him feel normal was using drugs. He didn't want to use the medication. He wanted to use the drugs. Yeah.
Until it killed him.
Yeah.
It's there. Don't get me wrong. The flip side of that coin is people that have very strong mental health stuff, and that stuff is still there after the alcohol and drugs are gone.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Those people, that's when they've got to go, start talking to a psychiatric doctor, and hopefully it's an addictionologist as well, and find a routine that works for them. But it's one of those things where, look, I'm a petty thief. I'm a petty check and car thief. I have a high school diploma. I have some college. I just know, like, the definitions of these things. I know
Yeah,
what
but
I was
you
told
became a
from
drug
doctors.
counselor. You worked with a
Right,
doctor that became a good friend of yours. You bettered your life. So it's
right,
not like you continued to be a check thief or
right. No,
car thief.
what I'm trying to say is like I don't equate a lot of this stuff out of a textbook. I equate a lot of it out of personal experience.
Yeah,
Those
personal
experiences and
experience.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that lifestyle is where I learned a lot of this stuff. So a textbook might tell you a little different. You talk to this type of doctor, they might tell you a little different. In my experience, when I stopped drinking, I realized, and through the 12 steps, that alcohol was just a symptom of the disease. The
Right.
disease wasn't alcohol. I'll pick whatever. It don't matter. Lay all the drugs on the table. I'll find something. Or hide them all from me. I'll find something. Because that's how I learned to deal with the problems of life, how to hold a job, have relationships, go to school, just be a normal person. I didn't know how to do any of that without drugs and alcohol. And I was really confused at people that did. I thought they were strange. Once the alcohol was gone, the symptoms of alcoholism showed up: irritability, discontented, frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And for a lot of years, I would go back to the alcohol because that worked for me for a time period. I would go back to the drugs because that worked for me for a time period. Once the alcohol and drugs stopped working, you better hope the 12 steps work or church or something,
Yeah. You
because
know,
you have hit that bottom.
I've been made fun of for a relapse for what, a few months now. I have no shame in talking about it because maybe it will help someone. You know, there's trigger warnings to look for. There's so many warning signs to look out for in regards to getting ready to relapse. And I absolutely just I didn't care. I guess I let my ego soar and I just I got cocky, you know, and I thought, oh, well, if I do this, it'll be all right. If I stop taking my meds, I'll be all right. Well, no, when I stopped taking my meds, um, you know, a few months later, I ended up relapsing. And then when my doctor, you know, put me on Klonopin, that gave me the taste again of benzodiazepine. Therefore, I went and started using Xanax again. And that's a slippery slope. I knew better, but the addiction was so strong in me that I couldn't tell my doctor no. And just last week, the worst thing imaginable happened. And, you know, I'm so unbelievably grateful to be here. Um, uh, I'm going to bring this up because it bothers me. You know, someone said to Brandon, why can't you keep your wife clean if you was a drug counselor? Brandon can't keep Sarah clean. Only Sarah can keep Sarah clean. Ben is only going to be able to keep Ben clean. Nobody's going to be able to help Ben stay clean unless Ben wants to be clean.
And I typically take things one step further.
Oh,
You
B.
know,
Ferg, I love you.
I can't even keep me clean. That's why I need a higher power. That's
Yeah.
why I need a spiritual path. You
Oh, I
know,
saw
now
that higher power, and I don't care what anybody says. I saw that higher power. You know, I died back there in the bedroom like a week ago, right? And they're shooting me with like Narcan. I have like 6 Narcan. I got shot up with 6 shots of Narcan. I seen that. I mean, I saw things that were beyond my comprehension, and I mean, I was dead. How can I see that? You know? And it's really made me reevaluate my life. I'm proud to be here. I'm not ashamed to talk about my struggles with addiction. I'm not embarrassed to say that I relapsed, had to have Narcan, because you know why? I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful I'm here.
And I guarantee you that there are families within a 10-mile radius of where we live that weren't so lucky this morning.
Yeah. And that's one thing I have a lot of guilt, because I'll sit there and I'll say things like, why me? Why do I get to be here? It's survivor's guilt, because I know a lot of good people that have died from addiction, and they were a lot better than I am. And why did I get to be here and they didn't? That's something that I struggle with big time. Oh, Controller, honey, I love you.
Definitely a miracle.
I love you, Brianne. And, I'm grateful that Brianne knows what I've gone through. She knows, she gets it, and she still loves me for it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As long as I have my family's love and support, that's all that matters.
And you'll always have that you'll always have that. But at some point,
B. Fergs, I'm sorry for your loss.
Sarah, you got to find a way to love you.
That's hard, that's hard. There's been a lot of pain in my life, so it's hard for me to love me. I can love everybody in the world. I can help people. I can love people. But at the end of the day, I struggle with helping myself. I struggle with loving myself because of, my downfalls. I promised myself that I would never use a certain drug again. And then here I am just a week ago, and I obviously was using it. And I'm sitting there thinking like I'm a fucking idiot. But then I have my husband, God love him. He's like, Sarah, you're not an idiot. It's the addiction. It has nothing to do with intelligence.
I can show you plenty of people who are way smarter than you and me.
Yeah.
That did not make it. I got buddies that could quote every bit of recovery literature you ever heard, knew that stuff. They knew treatment, the steps, you name it.
Big hugs, Casey. And this is this whole thing with Ben. This is why I care, because I'm struggling the same way Ben is struggling. Maybe not the same, but we both have an addiction. We both have mental illness, whatever. And so when I see people say, well, turn your back against Ben, if you talk to Ben, I never want to talk to you ever again. Really? Is that how we view humans? Is that how we're going to view people now? Just because they're struggling with mental illness, we're just never going to talk to them again?
Well, unfortunately, in society right now, there's a lot of mob mentality and a lot of gang mentality. And, if you like this politician, I don't like you. And if you like this person, we can't be friends. Unfortunately, that's huge right now.
I love you, potty mouth mama. I hope you're doing okay, babe. When it comes to the fighting with me here online, it's coming to an end. And with people making fun of me of wanting to talk about addiction just because I relapsed, that's going to come to an end too. Because people that relapse can help other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to get bullied on social media by having someone tell me that I have no right talking about addiction. Are you kidding me right now? I'm the perfect person to talk about addiction. How do you think all these sponsors have helped people stay clean?
There's a very big, and this is perfect for what you're talking about. There's a very big theory in 12-step work. Part of 12-step work, and I don't do it like I used to, or like even I should, but the way we used to do it is there's a central office in Dayton. They'll call your phone and say, hey, we got a guy in your neighborhood. would you go talk to him? He's wanting to maybe go to a meeting or just meet some people in recovery. Now, I'm over 10 years sober. So if I go by myself, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't even believe that. And it's hard to relate to someone with over 10 years. You're supposed to always bring someone with you who's in their first 60 days.
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is the guy sitting there who's new to recovery, maybe just got out of prison, maybe just got out of rehab, he is much more interested in the guy with 60 days than the guy with 10 years. Sounds crazy, but I was that way. When I would meet people with 10, 20 years, I'm like, yeah, right.
Thank you, Kevin.
You got to at least be smoking pot. There's no way you're 10, 20 years clean.
Hey, Alicia.
I mean, I found out along that they were, but
right.
You know, I was much more, and for my first, few years, I hung out with people that had a couple years at most. I had friends and a sponsor that was, clean sober a long time, but no, I mean, that's just where, when you're new in recovery, a lot of times too, it helps the old timer. It helps those that have been around 20, 30 years because they forget. They forget all the, I forget.
Absolutely. I had 6 years and I forgot.
Exactly. That's my point exactly.
Yeah. 6 years of hard work and I forgot and I've lost it all. I mean, I can rebuild it again and I'm going to rebuild it better. I know what to look out for now. I know the warning signs.
Change your sobriety date.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's changed, just my sobriety date. I'm good at starting
that's all that
over.
Changes. You still have the same information. Hey, you still have the same information.
Absolutely.
You gained some new tools and some new information. You survived. You survived the thing that's killing everyone we know. There's a huge miracle there.
You may call it a miracle. I call it, I don't know.
What?
There's a lot of good people that I wish that would have been here versus me at times.
We all feel that way, but that's not how it was written. That's not how it went. I don't know why. It's beyond my comprehension. I've tried to figure that out a million times, why I'm here and they're not. I'm never going to have that answer as long as I'm on this earth because there isn't an answer. Doesn't exist.
When it comes to someone saying, why can't Brandon keep his wife sober or keep her clean? He was a counselor. Guess what? He helps. He's not able to keep me clean and sober, but he can give me wisdom that I need to hear in the moment that does help me say, oh yeah, maybe I should stay sober. He helps bring me back to reality. So therefore I'm grateful for his voice. I'm grateful for his knowledge and wisdom.
No human power, no human power can do it. No sponsor. I could have 30 sponsors, wouldn't change anything. Alcoholism and addiction are too strong, and the deal is that, I have, if you make 12 cupcakes, I can't eat just one. I can't have one cup of soda. I've never been able to have one of anything that I like or makes me feel good or makes me feel different my whole life.
Right.
I need help with that on a daily basis. It's not just every now and then I drop in here and talk all this stuff and then I just go do whatever I want. I got to do things on a daily basis to stay clean or I'll forget. I'll go back to what worked or what I thought was working. And I love my life too much today to let any of that happen. I have stuff to lose today.
Yeah, and I do too. And that's the thing that's what that right there is what confuses me, because let's talk about that. There's a difference. Me and you are both addicts. Mm-hmm. You just said you have too much to lose today to go back to using. So did I. Where did I go wrong? What?
Well, I think you were already inebriated, through doctor prescribed medication. Yeah. So that's part of it. So already, like, your brain's kind of like, who cares? I don't know about you, but every time I ate Klonopin, my mind did not care about much.
No, I'm still dumbfounded. This guy's been my doctor for over 20 years. He's in recovery, and he gives me Klonopin, and I'm like, and that's my bad for taking the script. That was my fault. I'm not even trying to laugh about it because it's not funny. But I got cocky and I thought, oh, I've been sober for 6 years. I can take these as prescribed. Yeah, obviously I couldn't because the bottle would be gone in like 2 to 3 days. And
that's reality.
A huge warning sign. That's when I should have stopped right then, called my sponsor, or said, hey, Brandon, let's go to the doctor's office and tell him what I did. But I wasn't ready, I guess.
You were already out the door. So a lot of times once we use, we're like, fuck it, we're already out. Excuse my language, but F it, we're already out here. There's no use in going back inside right now. Let's hang out here for a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, controller. Yes. Like when we become sober and when we are in recovery, we that's the biggest mistake we make, is thinking that we can be back on that medication that got us in trouble to begin with.
Plus, those make me want to consume. I want to consume everything: food, women, booze, drugs, snort, shoot, smoke. Every time I use those things, I became the best thief I've ever met. I became the best cook I've ever met. And I was the suavest. Ladies love. I'd be puking on myself thinking girls are in love. That's how I thought things were. I was the best dancer. Like, people talk about alcohol that way. That was me with benzos.
Look, I thought I had you fooled last week. I'm sitting there having a conversation, and Brandon's like, Sarah, you can't even stand up.
Shit.
I thought I had him fooled. And I'm not trying to laugh, but
no, it's
in our minds, yes, controller benzos make you want to steal. Oh my gosh. Thank God that I didn't get that far into it, I'm grateful that I still own my house, that it's still here, that I still have my jewelry, that I still have my husband. I'm grateful for all of those things. It didn't get too far this time. I mean, it could have gotten a lot worse than it did. And maybe what happened needed to happen to wake me up again. Maybe I've never had to have that much Narcan. And, I hate that Brandon had to see that. And,
it took 4 shots to get you to open your eyes. It took six to get you to able to move.
Brandon was arguing with the paramedics. He's like, well, she didn't take any, let's not use the one word, opiates. Yeah, she didn't take any opiates. And they're like, no, we think she did. And Brandon's like, no. And after they gave me 2 more shots of Narcan, that's when I finally came to. So luckily they didn't listen to Brandon. He didn't even know. Hell, I didn't even know. The benzos had me so far out of mind, I didn't know what I was ingesting. And that's what benzos do. They suck, man. They're the worst chemical ever made.
They make you want to consume. Benzos. I swear that. They make me want to consume anything and everything. Anything that's going to enhance that buzz.
And I'm not doing this for any kind of sympathy. I don't want sympathy. I just want it to be known that, maybe we can have a little more compassion for people, because you never know when their last day is going to be. We don't have to hate on someone because they're struggling with mental illness or addiction. They're still human beings. They still deserve love.
Yeah, always. And there's, everybody's got their own way of doing that. Once again, I don't want to tell other adults what to do.
No, and I don't either.
I just know that for me, what's important to me is, regardless if I like someone or not, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's best friend. And I know how important my best friends are, my wife. Come on, at some point I got to just be honest and say, look, I might hate this person. They might get on my nerves. But you know what? If they called me at 3 a.m. and said, I'm struggling, I'm going to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Because someone did it for me. Trust me, there's people somewhere right now that don't like Brandon Pittman. And that's fine. That's fine. That's who we are. That's just part of the world.
Evelyn, I'm sorry.
I think we're all capable of a lot of love and a lot of trying to help other people. And we need to do that if we're able. It's just my experience.
Yeah, and I'm all about the compassion part, man. I am. I'll sit here and cry over somebody's story like a baby, and I get made fun of for crying all the time, but I can't help it. I'm an emotional wreck anyways, and I've got a lot of emotions, and I've got a lot of love for people, man. And so when people shun me away just because I don't agree with them, it kind of hurts, you know? And I don't roll that way. I can't just turn someone off and on like that. I can't just because my views are different than theirs. I don't know. I'm blown away by this, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not even going to get into that topic because God knows that would be a holy fucking war, and I don't want to get into that one right now. Yeah, I get it. CCK says get a new doctor. Yeah, I just think that I
Might
need
be
to
time.
be honest with him.
That too. No matter what, you know.
He knows though. I mean, he's definitely gonna know after this past week.
Yeah.
He'll definitely know.
He was the medical director of that unit you were in for
Yeah.
that time period, just so you know that. So
I've
still
known
got
that.
connections there. Yeah. So
And he's known me. Oh gosh. Poor guy. I am so sorry that he left behind a 13-year-old son and 7-year-old daughter. I'm so sorry. Just know that it was the addiction. It wasn't him.
yeah. You know, this world's in a place.
Serenity here, you're right. The doctor is not the problem. Nope,
Right.
I was the problem. It was me that went and filled that prescription. It was me that continued taking that medication. It was me that, yeah. So I definitely know that the doctor's not the problem. I think some of the medications out there are the problem. I think some of the medications, like, I don't know.
I've had several different doctors tell me there's absolutely no medical benefit to giving someone Xanax. None.
No, because you know what Xanax does? It will put you into early, oh gosh, what is that? Alzheimer's. Is it Alzheimer's or dementia?
It might be both, but it's probably dementia. Probably dementia. Early onset adult dementia or something like that.
Oh yeah. And once you've used benzos for so long, your brain's kind of fried anyways, or at least mine is. And I know that I've burned a few brain cells that'll never come back. And that drug sucks. Brandon's right. There is no useful benefit for that medication whatsoever. Yeah, it might help calm you down a little bit, but there's other medications out there. You know, there's Klonopin, which is not as strong as Xanax, and that does not harm your brain the way that Xanax does.
Ativan, Valium. I mean, it's just, but Xanax is popular. You know, that's the popular one that everyone wants because of how strong it is.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being 18, 19 years old and popping, 5 to 10 bars and bye-bye.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Blackout.
Oh. Yeah. Bars. Oh my God. That's what gets me in trouble. It's not just like getting little Xanax here and there. It's them stupid bars that always get me in trouble.
Too strong.
But it's nobody's fault but mine. Yeah. And God, people shouldn't even be taking Xanax bars to begin with. God, they're so strong. If you want to be comatose drooling on yourself, then I guess they're good. But oh yeah, I don't know. I always thought I, was such a gangster because I could take like 5-10 bars at one time. No, I'm an idiot. I'm a blubbering, drooling fool. That's not cool. And I didn't think that recently. This has been like years ago in my teen years. I can take all these benzos and blah, blah, blah. But nowadays, here I am in my 40s and I'm still struggling with addiction. The same freaking addiction. The same freaking shit. It's such a hard struggle. If I could wave a wand, I would make it go away, It's just not that easy. I wish it was.
But if you had that wand, it would cheat you out of the journey that is recovery and then self-discovery.
Well said. Well said.
You get to go back through, and at times it's going to be painful. At times it's going to be joyful. But you get to re-experience developing a relationship with a higher power, with your family, and with yourself.
Absolutely.
See
what I mean? He's always there to say something knowledgeable or has a lot of wisdom to share.
It's all I'm good for. I got nothing else. I can't fix anything. I just talk. That's all I got. But it got me this far. So.
No, you're right, MO33. They are definitely not true friends. I thought they were, and it hurts. Ooh, thank you. Oh, addiction sucks. And I'm always going to fight for people, regardless if they're liked or not. I'm always going to stick up for them. Oh, gosh, the dogs are barking.
I know, it's my fault. I was trying to keep it quiet. It didn't work out.
You see, reach out and touch Faith. Says, I only take a Xanax when I feel I need it. And you know what? That some people can do that. That's awesome. There's some people out there that are able to take that medication and they don't end up like me eating the whole bottle. Right. That's why addiction is so tricky. Some people get it and some don't. Some people can take that medication and never abuse it. Other people like me, not so much. God love you for being able to take it and, not having an addiction component with it.
Well, you survived, No,
okay. Reach out. It is not a bad drug. No. Brandon, what did our doctor used to say? No bad drug.
Only bad doctors. Yeah.
So yes, reach out and touch Faith. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. It's not a bad drug. It's a bad drug for people like me.
Yeah.
Let me reword it. Oh, there he goes. But yeah, we knew this doctor. Actually, Brandon worked with him, and he would just out of the blue, he would turn the corner and say, "No bad drug, bad doctor." Oh, glad to have you back.
Hey, good to be back.
God love Pat Wall. I wonder if he's still around.
He's got to be about 148 years old. So, but then again, he's pretty good health. He eats healthy, and he's probably somewhere saving people, talking crazy,
worshiping, like talking to the sun.
Yeah, he loves the sun, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
interesting guy. He got my dad sober, strange enough. That was my dad's doctor. Strange enough. But I got to work with him. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah, there's some fun stories with him. Maybe I'll share them sometime.
Yeah, about a million fun stories. Crazy. God.
I'm sorry if I misspoke, reach out and touch Faith. I didn't mean to offend you or anything. I misspoke on the medication part. It's bad for me. It's not a bad drug though. Yeah, it's actually helped a lot of people. Hey, Deborah Groovy. Thank you. Yeah, by God's grace, I am here. And there's got to be some kind of higher power that's kept me here. Lord.
Yeah, I was just thinking, how how many times I woke up driving?
Oh.
Like came out of blackout and I'm behind the wheel of a car. Like, it's a miracle that I didn't hurt somebody, hurt myself, or I definitely damaged some cars and some property. But, man, it's just... hard to believe, you know?
Yeah, I'm grateful that we still have our vehicle out there. Thank
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Last
Yeah.
week. Whew, I didn't mark it up, scratch it up, didn't wreck. Doing good. The day is young.
Yeah. When Sarah
No
eats
Charlie too
benzos,
soon.
she also gets gasoline in her shoes and she has to just drive. She just
Yeah, I
feels like
don't.
she's
I
supposed to
gotta
drive.
go somewhere. I don't know where I'm going, but I gotta go.
Yeah. I was like that too.
Uh,
Sometimes. Depends on the drug.
yeah, I do think that I'm allergic to those though, because it completely turns me into a different person. Like, I am not a nice person when I take benzos. I am not nice at all. I become mean. I become what did you call that?
Complete personality change.
Yeah. Like, that's scary shit. Like, you completely turn into someone else. It's scary. Like, literally, it feels like somebody else takes over you and talks for you, because I say things on those things that I wouldn't say to my worst enemy, that I'm sitting there saying to my husband. And when he tells me about it, once I become sober, I'm like, there's no way I said that to you. There's no way I talked to you like that. And it is a complete personality change, thus mental illness. But it's crazy because I could never disrespect anybody the way that I have on benzos. It's insane.
I mean, a lot of people with alcohol, people that are
Mm-hmm.
alcoholic, and I've met some of them and like knew them when they were sober, but knew them when they were drinking. It's crazy. Crack cocaine is another drug that some people, they just turn into a different freaking person. And, you know, yours just happens to be benzo. You know,
Yeah.
when you ingest them, you turn into something else.
Oh, it's scary. Like, you know, Brandon said that my voice changes, that like everything about me, the way I walk changes. That's scary shit. Like, I sat there the other day thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna like need an exorcism or something.
I can hook you up. I know somebody in the game.
And I'm not trying to laugh about it now. I'm just trying to like bring light to the fact that I'm still here. I mean, instead of crying about it, I'm just gonna laugh about it. I don't know what else to do at this point. Um,
Whatever
I
works.
am, huh?
Whatever works for right
Yeah,
now, you know.
yeah. You know, I have a new sponsor today, which I'm grateful for. I'm going back to meetings, which I'm grateful for. That's something that I stopped doing. And this just helps reassure me that I should have never stopped to begin with. I should have never stopped talking to my sponsor. I got cocky. I got arrogant. And, you know, when you're an addict, you can't have an ego, man, especially if you're trying to stay clean.
Plus, I think last year, and I'm not making an excuse for it, but I think last year threw a lot of us off.
Oh,
You know, I'm
man. Yeah,
definitely not
it
trying to
did.
blame 2020, but I know it definitely affected, you know, my well-being and just the way I do things. But you
Deborah,
know, that's
those
over.
Zoom meetings are amazing. What was you about to say, Brandon? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nothing. I was just saying that, you know, it's over now. You know, we're all getting back on track. You know, and that's all that matters. But I think just on the topic of what we're talking about of losing contact with sponsors and other people in recovery, I think last year threw so many people off. It was a
It
mess,
did.
but thank God it's
Well,
over.
you know, and a lot of people died last year because of
Man,
COVID, and then being stuck in the house, they turned back to using drugs again, you know?
right.
Um, oh my gosh, what did that emergency responder say to you? That heroin isn't even
A
the
problem.
issue anymore.
Yeah.
That they
It's
have
meth.
like bags full of Narcan now, that it's methamphetamines.
Yeah. It's in Dayton, Ohio, switching over to meth or in the
That's
process of.
crazy.
Yep. I never thought I'd see that day come, but it's here.
I didn't either. I never thought I'd see that.
Yep. It's a
Oh
drug
God,
trend.
that's such a nasty drug. I mean,
People
they're
are
all nasty.
using meth to get off the heroin.
Oh God.
So they end up addicted to the meth in the process, and you've got a total different animal.
Yeah.
So it's a different ball game. Because junkies, they'll usually go sit in a room and just, burn themselves with cigarettes for hours. Meth addicts move around, buddy. They get to work. And, it's just dangerous, Obviously, as we've always talked about, the help's available to them, but I think we're going to see some pretty crazy stuff to come here, at least in our area.
Yes, Controlla. Controlla says Adderall is the new drug of choice, which is actually amphetamines and salt combo. Oh, gosh. Yeah. There's no way I could take Adderall. See, I don't like uppers anyways, but
I hate that drug. Oof.
I never did. I've never taken one in my life, and I've done.
I haven't had one in a long time. Long time ago.
And they do help some people. It's just, when it comes to addicts, it's not good for addicts to use Adderall.
Yeah, once again, it's one of those things. And some addicts are able to do it. Some addicts are able to pull that off, and it works for them and helps them. They can work on their mental health. They can do all the stuff they're kind of supposed to do. No. Way stronger. Way stronger.
Okay. Because I've done Adipex. I used to get those to try to lose weight, but
there's not much of a buzz in Adipex. It's more like a coffee feeling, like strong caffeine. This is a total different ballgame.
Oh, see, I don't know. I have no idea.
The best way I can explain it to you is that amphetamines make cocaine look like pixie sticks.
Oh.
Like it doesn't even feel like the same. It's just a different buzz. And you can literally take one hit, and it'll last all day.
Oh,
all day.
Yeah.
So, until someone's been on it a long time. And then, of course, it, only lasts for 8 hours or whatever, depending on how much they do. And, like anything else, you build up a tolerance.
Oh, is that the drug where you'll find people like looking on the floor, the meth, the people that you'll see looking on the floor trying to find crumbs?
That and crack's like that too. Yeah.
I've seen people do that, and I'm like, oh no. It's like Coke in a pill. I don't like it either. Yeah, and I think that's one reason why they never gave my son. He has ADHD, and I think that's a reason why they never gave him a medication like that, was because he did have addiction that goes so far back in his family tree. And
no, that is the reason why.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Ritalin or anything.
I've heard the doctors say that. It is the reason why.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. CCK, thank you for being here. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out. I appreciate all of you guys for coming in and hanging out. Sorry I kind of went nuts. I really felt some type of way with some of the things that Laura was saying when it comes to Ben and, telling Makeup Mobster how stupid she is or how ignorant or dumb she is when Laura didn't even get it right. So I felt like, I needed to say something. And, when it comes to somebody in addiction, I'm always going to stick up for them. And, if people want to make fun of me for that or not be my friend for that, deuces. See you later. I don't care anymore, man. I'm not here for popularity. Like we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s. Popularity, what is that at our age? It's whatever.
And plus, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want people to remember you?
Yeah.
As somebody who was worried about what everybody else thought, or as someone that didn't care and went in and just helped people because it's the right thing to do?
Yeah, you got people like Laura over there making fun of Makeup Mobster's teeth, but yet when people made fun of Laura's teeth, what'd she have to go do? She had to go and beg her Patreons to get her some Invisaligns. Clip that shit. So, Laura, you don't have a lot of room to talk there.
Wow.
She's a 50-year-old woman making fun of other people's looks. Brandon came to me just the other night and said, Sarah, you know what I heard after you fell asleep? Laura was comparing herself. How'd you say that?
She was like comparing people's lives based on how many subscribers they have. It was so strange, like saying well, this person only has this many subs, so they're not important. This person only gets this many views. And she knew all this stuff verbatim. She knew it all by heart, like how many views they had, how many subs they had. It was scary.
That's
Like,
where her mind is at. Like, she is so hyper focused on other people's subs, other people's numbers, social blade. That's what she thinks matters. And that's where she's fucked up in the head, man. Because that's not what matters at all. Like, not at all.
Yeah, if you are in your life basing your life around those kind of numbers, I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah.
Not that I'm better, not that I'm king of anything. I do not want what you have.
Amen. Blue Sugar, I absolutely love you. And Brandon and I are going to start doing more panels together. I'm going to try to, for my own mental health, well-being, I'm going to try to steer clear from some of the drama. And I want to get back to doing things that Brandon and I used to do. I want to start going live with my daughter. And I don't care about the subs. I don't care about all of that. I mean, I care about subs, but I don't care about numbers. I don't try to compare myself to other creators. That's meaningless to me. Like, what matters is things in the real world, like love, family, things I'm going to make for dinner. That's what matters to me, not social blade. So I don't know, but it is whacked though, how she can sit there and know everybody's analytics. That is so weird. It's scary. That's very scary.
Oof. But hey, that's where her life's at. I hope it works for her. I hope she finds happiness, love, joy, and financial security there. It's just not for me. And I want to thank you guys too for being there for my wife when I can't be or I'm not around. You guys are amazing. I don't think you guys realize what you have at times. You guys really, truly have a community of people trying to help each other out. And there is so much love involved in what you guys do.
Yeah.
It brings me to tears sometimes. I'll be just listening to you guys talk like as I'm walking through the house, and it's truly beautiful. And I want to congratulate you guys on that and just having each other, because not everybody has that.
Yeah. And there's so many good people in this community, not everybody's an asshole. Not everybody's a piece of shit. There's so many people in this community that have really good hearts and, have other people's best interest at heart. And
they're smart and funny and creative and beautiful.
And
it's just so much bigger than we don't like so-and-so because whatever, it's just, I don't know. I'm really impressed with you guys. I need you to know that, that you mean the world to me too. And always thank you for listening and interacting with us. It's just what we do.
So on that note, I'm going to jump off here. Brianne, honey, I love you. I see you in there in the chat. Bria is my daughter. She's my amazing daughter. And I love her dearly with her amazing little babies. So on that note, I'm going to jump off here. Controlla. Oh, thank you, Controlla. Thank you for becoming a member of the Enlightened. We're going to get there one day.
Hey, we're on the road. We just got to stay on the road.
Thank you guys. And thank you, Controlla, for becoming a member. We're going to do something with this channel. We're going to make it go places. And we're just going to get away from the drama. So much love back. I hope you all have a great day. Anna Mary, it's always good to see you. I love you, lady. Blue Sugar, I love you so, so much. I hope you guys have a great day. And I'm going to see what we're going to do for dinner now. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for being here. Bye.